See that port right there? You know what that one does?
Well, hey, let me know. Hit me.
It's an extension.
Extension of what?
You can add a foot pedal.
What?
Yeah, so I can add a foot pedal.
What is going on, guys? Fighting Game Select is here. The GOAT himself, Justin Wong. What's going on, bro?
What's good, man? What do you have us talking about today?
We've seen a lot of interesting controllers this past Evo, you know? I feel like we don't really talk about our experience with using like leverless controllers because I feel like we play on like a bunch of controllers. And I know for you particular, you definitely played on like a bunch of like leverless controllers.
Oh yeah, it's such an interesting evolution because obviously like fighting games started as like joysticks from the arcades and then eventually went to console and people were like, oh, start playing on pad. So people were talking about how like what pad is the better controller compared to the joystick, right? It was like pad versus joystick, which one's better? And then like Hitbox, they made a leverless controller, right, called Hitbox, and that one like changed the game. And now it's more about just like, yeah, you can make a leverless controller, but like what's different about yours? And then now it's more of like size, weight, aesthetic. It lights up. I'm like, man, we are in the golden era of before we were collecting joysticks. Like, you know how Mad Catz joysticks, like, oh, this Mad Catz joystick came out. Hello Kitty, Chun-Li, oh, got a copy, right? It's like it's like a collector's item. Now it's like you need to buy all the leverless controllers because that's the new the new cool thing to collect. Because they come in all sizes.
Believe it or not, there was some companies that made leverless controllers for like a one-time thing. Limited time only, and they stopped selling it. You remember Kwamba when they had the UIU edition of the leverless controllers for Cloud 805.
Yeah.
So like these companies like made it one time, and like you go on the website and it's like nowhere to be found. So like I feel like these controllers are gonna be like collector items. I would like to call them. I want to go ahead and ask you the first question. Like, what so far is your favorite leverless controller that you play on and why?
Oh man, my favorite. I'm throwing you on the bus. It's really hard because like I recently bought like a bunch because I'm working on a YouTube video to talk about like what's the best leverless controllers to buy in 2023 or going to 2024. There's so many good ones. Obviously I think the most famous one is gonna be Hitbox, and then like the name brand ones, right? Name brand ones like Hitbox, Victrix came out with their own version, which is like really fancy, classy, and it's a bit pricey, right? Because it's like name brand. And then Razer just came out with a Kitsune, which is so sleek, right? So beautiful.
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen that one? Hold on. Let me pull that out for you, bro.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a Chun-Li official.
And it's mad light too.
One. Yeah, that one is nice. Look, it's so sleek as well too. Like, look at that. That is a good one right there. Yeah, and it lights up. RGB, bro. You know how Razer loves your RGB.
Yeah.
This is not an ad. This is just me showing Kizzie the leverless control I've been using. But I would say the one that I'm really interested in the most right now, let me pull it up. I have so many leverless like down below my desk.
Bro, my man got the boards.
This one's called Mavercade. And this one right here, look at this.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you see how the buttons are a little bit bigger, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that a lot because it's like you get to use two hands. So obviously, this is not like a traditional Hitbox layout. This is more of like a split box layout. So, like it's more of like your hands are a bit farther compared to like original Hitbox style is like so close. I find it if my hands are a bit farther, I don't get a cramp when I'm playing on this one in particular.
That's a problem that I feel like I've been having with a lot of like leverless controllers just because of like the space that I'm so cramped up.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really easy for like, especially my left hand, to get cramped up the most because I don't use it as much.
Yeah, that's what happens to my left hand as well. I think it's just we're just getting older. Like a pianist, right? Pianists, they get godlike when they're young and everything. They do like concerts and orchestras, but eventually their hands start to kind of like cramp up and they're a bit slower, and then they become like teachers or instructors, right? That's kind of like, it seems like that's like the end goal for a lot of pianists. So it kind of reminds me of that when you're playing on leverless. Is like if you're playing it too much, eventually your hand gets cramped up and you can't have the same type of speed when you would have compared to like when you are in your younger prime. That matters a lot because if I want to play a video game, I don't want to play it where there's pain. I'm fighting through the pain trying to do these combos. No, I don't want to do that. Right?
You know, we already kind of talked about them making particular like leverless controllers, but do you think starting like, let's say for example next year, that their main prime focus should be like leverless controller like variants? We got the Quambo Obsidian, we got the Quambo Pearl.
Yeah.
Should they do that for like hitboxes? You know what I mean? Like, should it be like the Quambo leverless, like Pearl, you know, whatever names, and then like one arcade stick?
I feel like Leverless can do something even further. So this is from SGF Devices, and look, so you actually have this thing plugs into the, you know, PS5 or whatever PC, but then there is another port right here. You see that port right there? You know what that one does?
Well, hey, let me know. Hit me.
It's an extension. It's an
extension of what?
Extension where you can add a foot pedal. So this is a foot pedal.
What?
Yeah, so I can add a foot pedal, like two extra buttons, right? The two extra buttons where I'm like, all right, let's say I got my right foot on one of the pedals, and you about to drive impact me, bro? Don't do it.
Oh, you gonna stop with it with the reaction?
Yeah, my
you
foot,
pushing the brakes, you pushing the brakes.
Exactly, my foot. You know. So that's really cool that they added this because you could just plug it in and everything, and now you have two extra buttons. So I think that's such a good way to like go into like how to evolve a leverless controller, and it's to bring in like legal, I would say, extensions, right? Like extra buttons. But you could use it with your foot or whatever, I guess. So like, yeah. So an example is like they added foot pedals to their leverless controller.
That's actually game changing. But I can't imagine like sitting next to somebody and like I'm seeing them like, you know, put their controller down, and then, you know, they like
setting
it
up.
Take their shoes off. They take their shoes. You know how like some people they drive like slipper with their slipper, or some take their shoes off and they're like, hold up, you know, let me set up my shoes, put it on the left side of the monitor. I'm like, bro, what is he doing? So like now, anytime I try to like drive impact, my man is pushing the brake.
Yeah, pushing the brakes, and or he could be using it for drive parry. It's two extra buttons. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be the evolution of leverless controllers. Is just, you know, adding extra buttons, or like, you know, like the cross up, right? Cross up is a joystick and hitbox combined. It's a fusion.
Yeah.
So I think just you have to be unique. You can't just be like, hey, look, I made another leverless controller. It's sleek, blah blah. You know, that's already been done. Now it's like you need to invent some new stuff.
Do you think arcade sticks are like done?
Oh,
you know, like,
man, the fossils.
Pack
it up.
Is this gonna be at like the aquariums and the museums, or like, you know, people having like bones of arcade sticks? You know what I mean? Or
I think there's going to still be like a little diehard group of people. I don't know. I think it also depends on the archetypes. I personally feel like if you're a grappler player, joystick or pad is probably still better than leverless controllers. I don't know. It just seems like theoretically it would be, but it also depends on the modern games. The modern fighting games, the more fighting games come out, how do leverless stand up to it? Because normally these games are made with the thought process of using a pad or joystick. Not really a leverless controller, right? Like, even when you think about like leverless controllers, it's really impactful in like anime games and Street Fighter. But I feel like in Tekken's still a big joystick and pad game. Even I feel like in King of Fighters, it's I think joysticks is better.
Joysticks, yeah.
Right, because of hop jumps and pressure and everything. But Violent Kane, he's a leverless player. And he has success. I think I'll still will always play joystick no matter what when it comes to like tournaments. But I'm just so jealous on how small people's controllers are. Like, they just put in a little fanny pack, put in their pocket, you know,
and be lighting up. It'd be looking like.
I'm like, man, I don't want to just lug a big bag. You know, I want something light as well too. Like, someone make a joystick out there where it's like I can just pretty much just bust it out from my
Like a
pocket.
cell phone, like a cell phone,
Yeah, or
like a cell phone controller, right?
yeah, something like that. I'm just jealous.
Yeah, I'm jealous too. But look, thank you, man, so much. That's all we got to say about this. And, you know, where can they find you, Justin?
You know, they can find me, JWong 3Gs on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. Just type in Justin Wong on YouTube, and yeah, you'll probably see my channel pop up right there too.
Hey, so, man, let me know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comment section below how do you guys feel about this video. How you guys feel about Leverless, and how you guys feel about Arcade Stick. And, you know, we ain't going to forget about the Pad Lords.